Greetings fellow film fans, thanks for tuning in. My name is Mercy and this is the Funny Pajamas YouTube channel. So this is going to be my spoiler-free review for Dune, the movie directed by David Lynch that's currently out in theaters here in India. Like I said, it's going to be spoiler-free. And before I go any further, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that beautiful subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. Okay, with that down and out of the way, let's get straight down into this review. Now, I got to tell you straight off the bat, full disclosure, Dune, I have never read the book by Frank Herbert, neither have I seen the David Lynch adaptation nor the TV miniseries. So I basically went into this this property totally blank, not knowing anything. This was of course not helped by the trailers, which if you watch the trailers and have no idea what the context or story of Dune is like, the book, if you haven't consumed it in any manner before, purely from the trailers, you're not basically going to get a good idea of what the story is. That was one of my biggest critiques of the trailers that came out for Dune. So I went into this totally blank. I know that the literature has a hell of a ton of lore behind it, a lot of world building, character building, a lot of mythology, the politics, basically a whole lot of lore. And that led a lot of people, myself included, when I heard about this vast storehouse of information on this world, of this world building, it did lead a lot of people to wondering whether a proper, good, a worthwhile cinematic adaptation of this property can be done. And I think Denis Villeneuve really does deliver on this. This is a gorgeous movie. It is visually beautiful. The audio mixing is amazing. The score by Hans Zimmer lends itself to this movie. So one who went into it totally blind. They just gave me enough information, enough knowledge on the structure, on the lore of this world, on the situation going on, enough for me not to be falling behind and not to feel totally lost. I mean, I got the story. They gave me exactly enough of what I needed to proceed further ahead and not feel left out. So even if you haven't watched the previous David Lynch adaptation or the miniseries, or if you haven't read the book, I do believe you can go into this completely. Now, like I said, this movie is visually stunning. The effects are so well done. The set pieces, the art, the art department has really outdone themselves. The costumes all fit perfectly. I imagine the movie about sand dunes would look pretty monotonous, but they have done the world building such justice. They have really brought it out. You really feel like you're in a totally different world of Arrakis. You actually believe you're in this desert planet. You believe all of it actually is real and that it really exists. And to that, I give full props to Denis Villeneuve and his production team. Now, I've got to say the acting in this movie is amazing. Obviously, the cast is stacked with Oscar Isaacs, Rebecca Ferguson, Timothée Chalamet, Josh Brolin, Jason Momoa, Stellan Skarsgård. The list is one of the most stacked cast that I've seen, and of course with that, all of them deliver. Each of them does their part perfectly. They act really well. I think this may be up to date Timothée Chalamet's, some of his best work yet, maybe even the best work yet till date. I still haven't seen French Dispatch, but I do believe this is his best work that I have seen so far. Now, for those of you who are fans of Zendaya, I gotta give you some bad news here. She is not really there much in this movie. Barely makes an appearance, barely towards the end. Also, this is kind of pretty much of a slow burn of a movie. So if you're looking for a very heavy action heavy movie, this may not be for you. This, the action is limited. It's more based and grounded on the characters. Like I said, the visual effects are stunning. But action-wise, it is a bit of a slow burn. There is a bit of action towards in the second half of the movie. Now, this movie, though it wasn't marketed as such, is actually part one of a two-part movie, which clearly can be seen in the very first scene of the movie, where the title card just straight off comes Dune Part 1. Though I believe they did not market it as such, this is very clearly only half of a story, which is my main nitpick about this. But considering the amount of story they needed to cram in, I would say I'm not very surprised, because they have a lot of stuff to cram in, and that would not have been possible in a short movie within the constraints of a cinematic movie. Now that does bring me to the point that maybe it would have suited better as a mini series, maybe as a HBO Max series, but we'll never know. So like I said, this is basically very clearly only half of a story, and I thought it ended rather abruptly, which was one of my main nitpicks of this. And as of now, right now, from what I know, they haven't yet begun production of part 2, which is a little bothering, because I want to see more of this world. I want to visit Arrakis. I want to visit these characters. I want to see Paul Atreides' journey, how he changes, what all he goes through further ahead, how the Fremen are evolved, and all that stuff. I want more of it. I want more. But if the sad fact of the matter is, if this movie underperforms or bombs in the box office, we are not probably going to get a part 2, which is really sad. I'm really hoping for this movie. Now, if my advice to you guys out there, don't wait for this to come out in streaming. I would really suggest you watch this in the theater, because it is a movie that is worth watching on the biggest screen you have possible. It is visually a very gorgeous movie. Like I said, a bit of a slow burn, so it does take a bit getting used to. But if you are into stuff like Game of Thrones, political intrigue, betrayal, families, and different houses and stuff like that, and war, and all this political intrigue and stuff, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Because the best way I can describe this movie is, Game of Thrones in space, or Galactic Game of Thrones. I really think if you enjoy that type of content, you are really going to enjoy this. Now, like, as you can clearly see, I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it more, and I'm really hoping that Denis Villeneuve gets the green light to go ahead and do a second part, because I want to know more of this world. I want to know more of this story. And yeah, so I definitely suggest you go give this a shot. And as you can clearly tell, I really enjoyed myself at this movie, and I give this a solid 9 out of 10. This movie almost reached perfection. Denis Villeneuve, of course, is an amazing director, and it shows in this movie. But despite the gorgeous visuals and the audio effects and the mixing, this is at its heart a movie based on the characters. It's grounded on the characters, and if you like gritty sci-fi stuff, this is definitely going to be for you. So I definitely suggest you go and give this a shot. Do watch it in theaters, so that I really hope a part 2 gets made. So that's all I have for you right now with my review for this movie. Like, as you can clearly tell, I enjoyed it. So I definitely do suggest you go give it a go. If you've had a chance to watch this movie, if you've seen the previous iterations of this movie, or of this IP, why don't you hit me down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. I do want to watch, now that I've seen this, I do want to go and have a look at David Lynch's version of this movie. I wonder how it will hold up. But this has really set a high bar for me, and I really want to see more of it. So if you have anything to tell me, your comments, your thoughts, your views, your idea, you can hit me up on my social media. On Twitter, simply at Mercy_D. Check out my Instagram at Mercy_SD. And don't forget the Facebook Funny Pajamas page, simply at Funny Pajamas. And if you want to check out my website, go ahead and give it a look-see simply on www.funny-pajamas.com. Pajamas with a Y. And if you want to contact me by email, you can do so. My email is up on the screen right now, simply on mercy@funny-pajamas.com. And everywhere it's pajamas with a Y. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Do go check out this movie. It is well worth it. It is not the most action-packed movie possible, but it is definitely worth a watch, particularly in a theater near you. So do go out and support this. That's all I have for you right now, and I'm gonna end here. So this is Mercy signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone.